What's up, everyone? Welcome to the July 5th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOMO when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on your first deposit. We have a 12-game MLB slate tonight. There are plenty of games with weather concerns, so be sure to tune into Live Before Lock for more up-to-date weather information. But for right now, we're going to assume that all of these games play and take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays are taking on Adrian Martinez tonight in Oakland. It is a park downgrade for the Blue Jays. You don't get warm weather in Oakland. You have a massive outfield. You also have massive foul territory where balls that would be 10 rows out of play in every other stadium in baseball get caught by the first baseman. But still a pitcher in Martinez that had decent strikeout numbers at AAA this year with a 26.4% strikeout percentage, 4.66 xFIP. Hard to take too much away from his AAA numbers in terms of run prevention because he was pitching in the PCL. But doesn't project to be a particularly good major league pitcher. He is going up against a Toronto lineup that is very good. 173 ISO, 114 WRC plus on the Blue Jays active roster. I'll take my chances with a 1% owned Blue Jays team, 6% chance of being the top scoring stack, despite the negative hitter spark. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves taking on Andre Payante. Payante has done a very good job this year of getting ground balls. As a result, he has a 3.94 xFIP. He's only allowed 0.65 home runs per 9 innings, but he only has a 14.3% strikeout percentage, and he's taking on a Braves team that has an active roster with a 204 ISO and a 115 WRC+. The Braves are projected for about 6% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack. Ground ball pitchers like Payante can be very frustrating to take hitters against because when they're on top of their game, you're just going to get balls pounded into the ground, and you're going to see your stack fail against a pitcher that isn't getting swings and misses. But pitchers like that typically do have a very small margin for error because if they're not on top of their game, if they're not locating well, they don't have swing and miss stuff that they can rely on to get themselves out of jams. So it's still a very high upside spot for the amount of power in Atlanta's lineup. And number 1, the San Francisco Giants are taking on Tyler Gilbert tonight in Arizona. In 56 career innings, Gilbert has only struck out 17% of hitters. He has a 5.04 xFIP over that time. The Giants are projected for about 5% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack, also a 14% chance of being the top value stack. There is some pinch hit risk throughout the Giants lineup whenever they're facing left-handed pitching, especially if Jock Peterson and or Mike Yastrzemski are not in the starting lineup. But really cheap pricing, good spot against Gilbert, and pinch hit risk is baked into any good set of projections as well. The Giants do have a 5.4 implied run total here. Now, looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Jeffrey Springs is projected for 4% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. He's only $8,400. He does have a difficult matchup against the Red Sox, but I really don't understand why the ownership is as low as it is on a slate where there's not a lot of good pitching. Springs has been excellent this year with a 27.8% strikeout percentage, 3.11 xFIP. The Red Sox active roster does have a 112 WRC plus. This game is in Fenway Park, which is a park downgrade for Springs. But even though the Red Sox have a right-handed heavy lineup, he's got a changeup that he's thrown nearly 45% of the time to right-handed hitters. As a result, he has a 28.5% strikeout percentage. He's a very good pitcher, not getting ownership on a slate where pitching is hard to come by. Number 2, Jameson Taillon, 3% projected ownership, 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. $9,400 price tag, taking on his former team in Pittsburgh. The Pirates have a 3.8 implied run total. Taillon's only struck out 19.8% of hitters this year, but he does have a respectable 3.67 xFIP. He's very good at not walking hitters, and the Pirates' active roster has a 94 WRC plus and a 24.9% strikeout percentage. And number 1, Nick Pivetta, 7% ownership projection, 7% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. He's taking on the Tampa Bay Rays tonight in Fenway. Pivetta's $10,100. The Rays' active roster has a 23.2% strikeout percentage to go with a 101 WRC plus. Pivetta has struck out 23.6% of hitters this year with a 4.06 xFIP. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays; number 2, the Atlanta Braves; and number 1, the San Francisco Giants. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Jeffrey Springs; number 2, Jameson Taillon; and number 1, Nick Pivetta.